Welcome back, everybody. We finished. We finished Kindred Spirits. Last episode was the last episode, so if you didn't see that, go watch it. But we do have some other little, I guess, extra little scenes here. I don't know how long they're gonna be. I don't know what they're gonna be about or what they're gonna. I have no idea what's gonna happen. So we're just gonna start here, I guess, and work our way through. So this is all the way back at the very, very start in June? When does this game start? I don't remember. Anyways, it's these two. So, almost there. What do you think will come back first, Miyu? I asked Miyu, who stood beside me with a stopwatch while I squinted towards the shadow of the building ahead. The leading runners should have been coming around under the shade at any moment. Well, the obvious choice would be Kitamura-san. I believe she's won some prefectural competitions. You think so? I think we've got another nice spirited girl this year. There might be a dark horse. You mean her? Today's run was a timed competition, a race around the Hoshikan building. It was something like selection training for the new members. After a few different kinds of training, we'd see what the new members are good at, consider their personal requests, and decide what sort of training plan to stick with them. Oh, there they are. It's Kitamura-chan, and there's Hina. She's tiny, but she's really holding her own. It's rough, but she's got pretty nice form. Sounds like she's been doing track for a while now. Yeah, she's pulling ahead. She doesn't say much, and you might think she's cold at first glance, but she's completely different on the inside. I like that she's competitive and dauntless. That's a nice spurt there. Kitamura-chan's picked up her pace as well. She's not going to fold to Hina's challenge. We did tell them today's times might decide who gets to go to summer competition. Guess it makes sense they'd be serious. I wonder if Hina's good at pacing herself. I have no idea if she does it consciously, of course. I'd say it's natural. In the end, Hina pushed past Kitamura-chan and all the other runners and arrived at the goal, indisputably in first place. Kitamura-chan had responded to her challenge but failed to keep up with Hina's pace. She'd even ended up being overtaken by some of the runners behind her. Kitamura-chan messed up her pacing and self-destructed, huh? She'll have to do more basic and mental training, I think. She's plenty good for a first year, though. Yep, I think we've got a good crop this year. Yeah, this year's shaping up great. Well, first we've got to separate everyone into sprinting and middle to long distance, and come up with some basic training programs for them. I'll go butter up the little first years who did their best. Then, having run all she could, Hina stood with her hands on her knees, breathing deeply. Would she have fallen to the ground if she could? How cute. The sweat dripping from her is proof that she's run her hardest. Yeah, rather than her talent or instincts. I think this one's best quality is how much effort she gives. Good work, Hina. That was some nice running. Thank you. Well done. You were leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else. I gave her a congratulatory hug, but Hina twisted her face into a frown. Matsuri-senpai. Oh? It's hot, and you're heavy. What was that, you brat? Well, I might be into the way she's completely unreserved, but heavy goes too far, kid. You haven't strained anything. Senpai can give you a nice massage. Come on, come on. Senpai, that's my chest. I know. Ooh, you've got more here than I thought, Hina. Don't touch them. She didn't sound too forceful, though. She really is an interesting kid. Matsuri-senpai, what's my time bad? She asked timidly, so I followed her gaze to find Miyu having a staring contest with her record sheets. Oh, don't worry about her. Miyu always looks like that when she's trying to come up with training programs. I see. Hina sighed in relief. She's just so honest. She's cute when she makes that face too, though. I really admire Miyu. I couldn't be captain of the team like this if she didn't take care of all the small stuff. Senpai, get off me. It's really hot and you're really heavy. Oh, come on. Let me touch you more. This cute new member with her potential for growth and her potential for teasing. And my reliable Miyu. My last year of track and field is looking to be a rewarding one. So I wonder if that's the whole, if they're just little clips like that. I think that's what they're gonna be. Yeah, so that's one down. Let's just keep moving on. I don't know what else we're gonna find. Oh, it's this one. Math Club. It was the end of the holidays and I wasn't quite back into the swing of classes, but after school activities were a different story. I couldn't help getting fired up for my first day back at the club. Of course, it was mostly just doing a little cleaning and getting some snacks ready. But still. When Tsukouyo-chan's gonna get here? I anxiously awaited Tsukouyo-chan's arrival. It was a little unbearable. I didn't think I'd take so much damage from just not seeing Tsukouyo-chan's face for a few days. I'd been able to enjoy the holidays from school before, and I'd never felt like I had too much free time. But it's been different since I started school here, since I met Tsukouyo-chan. I should have come up with some reason to stop by during the break. It's bad enough that I was even starting to think stalker and training thoughts like that. You might expect to get used to it and bored of any cute things you'd see too often, but that rule doesn't seem to apply to Tsukouyo-chan. I want to admire her always and everywhere. Oh, if only I could hold Tsukouyo-chan in my arms from morning until night and lovingly stroke her all the while. Alone together with Tsukouyo-chan, I could hug her and occasionally hug her. And if I got bored, hug her again. And I could hold her and embrace her and squeeze her. I can't stop. What is this wonderful delusion? It's too strong. I'm gonna start drooling. The sensei is going to talk to the nurse, okay? Tsukouyo-chan, forget that. It was nothing. I'm such an idiot. Tsukouyo-chan, come back to me. Tsukouyo-chan had poked her head in while I'd been indulging so foolishly in my delusions, and immediately about-faced. I desperately flew towards the door and begged her to return. Geez, I'm trying to take club activities mostly serious, but when I'm alone with Tsukouyo-chan, I just can't help myself. It's been like this since last year. I haven't changed, ever since I took over the math club and kept it from disbanding. I've always liked math, but I didn't really know anything about the math club, and I'd never given any thought to joining it. Rather, it's Tsukouyo-chan who's been stuck in my mind since the entrance ceremony. I think about her at school, naturally, and she's still on my mind at home, and I even dream about her sometimes. Ever since that day, I couldn't take it anymore and spoke to her. Really, why don't you join the math club then? What? The math club? Why? Sensei is the advisor for the math club. What? Why? Even though you teach classic lit? Yeah, the old math club advisor left right when I started here, so we'd had exchanged like that. The math club, huh? What do you think? The last member just graduated in spring, so there's no one in it now. At this rate, it'll be shut down. Then there'd be one advisor and one member. Right, you'd become the president by default. And we'd be alone together the whole time after school? I'll join the math club. And with that, I became the sole member of the math club. Of course, in the beginning, it was only for the impure motive of being alone with Tsukouyo-chan after school. Yep, I won't deny that. Actually, that was like 100% of the reason why. But I think it's also true that I wouldn't have done so much for the club if it were just for her. I only joined because of Tsukouyo-chan, but it was like I also discovered my passion for math. A bunch of stuff happened. It was difficult to even keep the club around with just one member, and I almost had to become some sort of club room nomad. When the math club had almost disbanded, its room was turned over to another club. It had been so much work trying to acquire a replacement. In the end, I had to be persistent. I found a classroom being used as a swords room, and I had to argue that we should be able to use it instead. I'm a little proud of how hard I fought, if I do say so myself. Well then, cheers to getting the math club back together. You worked really hard for this, Chirigimine. Yeah, I really did, Tsukouyo-chan, so give me a hug as a reward, okay? No, I'll give you a hug. No, seriously, can I? Please? Stop, Chirigimine-san, you'll spill your juice. With all the cleaning and other stuff, it had taken like a week to even get to the point where we could have some celebratory juice. Though, these are all good memories now, and my after-school happiness has continued since. Let me start with the announcements, okay? Have you calmed down, Tsurugubine-san? You can't fool around like that, alright? I'm always super serious. I'd finally coaxed Sensei back into the room after her earlier retreat, and today's club activities began. We started with the usual sort of meeting. The subjects are always something boring and bland. Though just being alone with Tsukouyo-chan is enough to get my blood pumping. But today was different. I have some good news. What is it? Are we gonna split in two and have a double cuteness campaign or something? What the heck? That's awesome. I can't take this. Please be serious, Chirigimine-san. I'm always extremely serious when it comes to Tsukouyo-chan, though. Chirigimine. I'm sorry, so what's your good news? Well, last year we weren't able to get a budget for the math club because of timing and everything, right? Certainly. Tsukouyo-chan's been paying for most of our club's expenses out of our own pocket this whole time. Well, it's not as if a math club has that many expenses when you're not buying computers and such. Math is a subject you can pursue with just pencils and paper, after all. Starting this semester, we have a proper budget. It's almost like we're a real club. We are a real club, you know. Anyway, we finally got permission from the school. It's just, I'm sorry, but it won't be that much. Or rather, it's kind of it's a pretty small sum. Well, just going to something from nothing is a big step. Maybe we'll be able to build the club inventory, though all I can think of to buy at the moment are magazines. But now that we've got a budget, I think we have a goal in mind. I have a goal in mind. Yeah, first we get a whole bunch of cute things here, so we have a marvelous world of tiny little... First, we should recruit some members. Members? Tsukouyo-chan, does that mean I'm not good enough for you? That's kind of... As I watched the respect and patience drain from Sensei's eyes, I rushed to correct myself. No, it's not like I've been slacking on recruitment or anything until now. Really, I just wasn't thinking about it at all. I just think, like, with a math club like this, people should really only join if they really like it, you know? You know? We can't force people who don't even like math to join the club, right? That wouldn't be good. You do have a point, but this is a club, so we have to treat it like one. We won't be able to recruit any members with this kind of budget. I suppose it would be best for the club to grow slowly and steadily. What she said was reasonable, and she doesn't seem to be pushing for any extreme changes yet. I guess I'm a little relieved. Honestly, it's a little difficult for me to just see people joining a math club nowadays, and to add to that, it's not exactly recruitment season. And it's incredibly comforting for me to have a place where Tsukouyo-chan and I can be alone together. I guess my stronger feeling is the hope that this situation continues as is for a little longer. Sorry, Tsukouyo-chan, but I guess I just want to monopolize you. So yeah, as I expected, these scenarios aren't really anything important. They're just kind of fun little scenes. We'll just keep going. There is a lot, and extra ones are popping up too, but we'll just go through as many as we can and keep going on. Oh, the radio. I like these three. These are probably my favorite. Tsukouyo Radio! Our show began with the usual divided title call and theme music. Yumi's voice sounded even more energetic than usual, perhaps because of the long Golden Week break since our last show. Did you have a fun Golden Week, everybody? I wonder how many people had too much fun and are struggling now in our first week back at school. I know I am. I like school, but I stayed up too late on the holidays and I'm so tired. Me too. Oh, you're always tired, Nina. There was some of the usual derailing, but we successfully transitioned into a warning about the post-break blues. It's really important to get back into the swing of things for you new students especially. Personally, I'd recommend cleaning your room. If you get your environment in order, your heart will naturally follow suit. Getting your heart in order, huh? As I watched Yumi's lively face and listened to her energetic voice, I began to sink into my own thoughts, even though we were on air. This hurts. The brighter Yumi shines, the worse my heart hurts. What am I supposed to do about this? Honestly, I thought things would have calmed down a little during Golden Week. I was hoping it wouldn't be so bad after being away from her for a little while. Instead, it's been basically the same as always, since Yumi dragged the two of us around throughout the holidays too. Actually, she's only been shining brighter in the nice May weather. How long will I be able to hide this? How long will this go on? But May isn't just about Golden Week, that's right. The first obstacle of the school year is just around the corner. But Yumi had suddenly turned to me. What? Why are you staring at me? I hadn't said all the things I was just thinking out loud, had I, on air? Shit. Not that many people actually listen to our show, but you can see why that would be a problem. Nina held up the script from her star station in front of the audio mixer. There was a red line struck somewhere around the middle of it. Right, now on to our announcements regarding midterm tests. It was nothing. She'd just been waiting for me to say my line. Seriously, what is wrong with me? After that, I got through the talk segment okay, but by some miracle, I managed to make a few announcements and introduce the music too. Today's request was a cover of a French pop song. I fell back into my seat as I listened to the sweet-sounding vocals. She's gonna be mad, isn't she? I glanced over at Yumi. She cracked a grin when our eyes met. Were you nervous since it's been a little while, Sasa? No worries, no worries. Yeah, sorry. Man, she sure is bright. Her brightness is the sort that makes you want to reach out and touch it, not a glaring light that exposes every shadow. Her brightness was what dragged me out of my shell in middle school when I'd fought so hard to stay isolated. Though now that I think about it, maybe she hadn't dragged me out. Maybe I'd just been fascinated by her and had to come out on my own. She's so bright that I'm thinking about things like that. Oh, it's fine. In exchange, help me out when I screw up, okay? Yumi accepted everything, even me, for my gloomy, posturing, unsociable, annoying self. At some point, I'd started to prefer being with Yumi and Nina over shutting myself away. So I can't ruin the school broadcast she values so much. Song ending in 30 seconds. I gave myself a little slap on the cheek to get myself together as Yumi picked up her script nervously. I don't really think a gesture like that suits me, of course, but Yumi wore a big stupid grin after seeing me psych myself up. Okay, let's do this thing. She slapped her own cheeks in imitation. She's so cute. I felt myself relaxing. All the motivation I tried to film myself with threatened to escape, but I held on. Because I'd rather see her smiling face after such a successful broadcast than cause her to worry about me. 5 seconds. 4, 3. These are fun. I like these. We're going to do a few more. Well, I don't know how many more. We'll see how long some of them go. Who is that? Supernatural girl. Who is that? I don't recognize who that was in the picture there. Yuna. Oh, it was Anno. It must have been Anno. I tilted my head in confusion. Yuna was down the hallway, near the broadcasting room. I'd thought she was just in the classroom, but suddenly she'd shown up over here. I was in a hurry to get to my job, but I thought maybe I'd go say hi. And that's when I noticed, next to Yuna, something like an orange pillar of light, like in the form of a person, maybe? It was a muted orange light that didn't reflect any of off my glasses, so there was no question about it. People say that wearing glasses changes the way you see the world. The lenses don't reflect everything, but they can give light on an interesting effect. Some people think it looks like diamonds, which I think is kind of romantic, like if you look up at the starry sky and see a bunch of jewels. But this wasn't that sort of natural light. The pillar of light in the air beside Yuna. I knew what it was. I'm familiar with this sort of thing. It's caused me some trouble in the past. Could it be a spirit? It looks like it's been here for a while too. I think it's a woman. It's not like I can really tell from the color of the light or anything, but that's my intuition. I guess it's something like wavelengths. The strength of the light seems to indicate the strength of the spirit. That's the impression I've gotten from my experiences. An orange pillar of light. The fact that it isn't a small orb must mean it's pretty powerful. That's what I feel. But it doesn't look menacing or anything. I don't see any spikes. Its wavelengths feel mild and harmless to me. Or its aura, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, it's embarrassing to use words like this. I'm a light novel protagonist or something. Am I a light novel protagonist or something? Well, it's not like there are too many light novel protags who are girls with glasses, and it's not like everything goes great for me like it would for an MC. This sort of thing is really just a bother. Nothing good ever comes from seeing them. The only memories I have of these things are bad ones. Adults would laugh at me when I told them, and my friends did too. One time I saw another girl being laughed at and teased for seeing the same things I did. I thought maybe it'd be better to keep it to myself after that. The only reason I wasn't treated like a weirdo or teased for it too was because I'm shy. I was so shy as a kid I could barely even talk to people. Yes, me. Once I had a better idea of how the world worked and realized that I had a sixth sense or whatever. It had got even harder for me to talk to people. It wasn't that I couldn't talk to people, but that I didn't want to. I carefully hid my abilities because I knew I wouldn't find comrades, or suddenly learn of my destiny like life was some game or a novel or anything. And I don't really like to stand out. But I can talk to people now, or rather do all of that. I think I've sort of turned into a cheerful, self-proclaimed cute type character. In reality, I tend to blush easily and hate being the center of attention. I can't stand it. So I don't say anything, not even to my friends. I haven't told Yuna either. So I really hope that doesn't backfire. I'm secretly a little worried about Yuna, since she likes to eat lunch on the roof by herself every day after all. There are ghosts on the roof. It was one of the first things I learned after starting school here. Once Yuna invited me to come up to the roof and eat with her, but I lied and told her I was afraid of heights, turning her down. That orange thing reminds me of what I'd sensed there. It's that one of the roof ghosts. Did Yuna see them after all? Come to think of it, it was the same the other day when Yuna made a scene in the classroom. There was kind of a weird feeling then. She was acting kind of weird after she came back from the roof, wasn't she? Did she see one of them on the roof? And is this orange thing here one of them? I really hope the orange one isn't a bad spirit. I hid myself a little, observing Yuna and the orange thing. Was a little curious, so I decided to come check things out. Are they talking or something? What were they talking about in there? It really doesn't look like she's possessed. Still, looks like Yuna in there. I thought maybe I'd come up with something. Unfortunately, I can't really hear what the haunt is saying. Maybe if I'd been able to concentrate, but I really want to avoid getting too deep into stuff like that. I've never done it before, and I don't really know what would happen if I did, and someone might notice me. From the looks of it, she doesn't seem to be causing trouble. Yuna's having a conversation and she's facing the light. Does that mean she can see her? Normal people can't see ghosts, especially ones like haunting spirits, and yet, if she's looking in its direction and hearing its words, it means she's having a conversation with it. Violent ghosts have usually abandoned their egos, so they're not great conversationalists. About half the time, seeing or hearing them means they're just gonna try to scare you or do other bad things. But if Yuna's having a regular conversation with her, that means she's not a bad spirit. Right. And more than anything, I wouldn't be able to figure it out if I were looking at someone I didn't know. But Yuna seems a bit different than usual, and not in a bad way. How should I put this? She's like talking a lot, and a little differently than she does with me. She looks a little mad, frustrated, but she's talking so much. That means she can be open with who she's talking to, right? That's what it feels like anyway. It looks like Yuna's. I see. If that's the case, maybe it's for the best. So I thought as I gave a little nod. I like Yuna's quiet attitude toward people who aren't me, but it does sort of seem like she's holding something back sometimes. I kind of bother her enough that I think she runs out of patience sometimes too. I don't know why Yuna acts the way she does toward people other than me and Hina-chan. I wonder. But I can't ask her that. I just stay by her without asking or doing anything about it. I figure if she's not saying anything about it, she doesn't want to. Like how I don't want to talk about my shyness or what I see. I understand it well myself, so I don't try to barge my way in, even when I realize she's struggling with something. I can't do anything, even though I'm by her side thinking she looks like she's in a little pain. But right now, Yuna, it's a little different than when she's helping me out. It kind of looks like she's enjoying herself, though I can't really figure out what's happening from here. I thought maybe I'd come up with something. She said that. Is she trying to do something with that ghost? It really doesn't look like she's saying that because she's possessed. It doesn't look like anything's controlling her either. So Yuna's doing this on her by her own will, helping ghosts. I still had no idea what was going on or what Yuna's trying to do. But as I watched Yuna from afar, I considered, what should I do now? Should I ask her what she's talking to and try to exorcise the ghost or something? No, I've never done anything like that before. That isn't it. This time, that doesn't feel right. All I can do is see ghosts, and my intuition's always been pretty good, too. If I can't do that, then what should I do? It's been a little more than a year since I became friends with Yuna, and what can I do now? When I haven't been able to do anything for her before. In any case, maybe I'll help out too. Yeah, I think I'm being pretty damn half-hearted and unfair. Yeah, this is selfish. Helping her out without even telling her what I know. Unable to tell her, yet helping her anyway. But Yuna is trying to do something that puts an expression on her face that I've never seen before. And I want to help her. If I can be one of any use for this, even if not for anything else before now, even if it's a favor a ghost asked of her, I'm sorry, Yuna. I can't help much, but I'll do what I can. Is that alright? I'll apologize when I can bring myself to tell you, Yuna. So as I suspected, and as we kind of found out at the end, she kind of knew about what Yuna was up to, or at least she wanted to help Yuna, because she said all the right things at all the right times, and it just seemed too coincidental that she would say those without knowing what was actually happening. But anyways, thank you for watching. We're going to end there. We'll finish up some of these other ones later. There's going to be a lot of them, it looks like, but they're kind of short, and they're just fun to do anyways, so, I guess I have to go back for some too. I don't know. Anyways, we'll finish that up next time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed these little extra bits. We'll see you next time, and goodbye.